Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this HP laptop model 15t-DW200. Excuse me. Alright, so we're going to be using a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. And most likely we have to remove these feet as well. So let's go ahead and remove the rubber feet and see if there are hidden screws under there. Okay, I just use my fingernails. You can use plastic pry tools or whatever works for you. Alright, but as you can see, there are 4 screws hidden under here. Okay, hopefully I'll be able to peel this up. It's a little bit, some of the adhesive is covering the screws. Alright, let's see if there's any hidden screws here. Okay. Alright, so there's a hidden screw under here as well. Okay, so 4 screws along the back. Let's go ahead and remove those. And again, it looks like, the clear adhesive thing is separated from the computer, so that's going to be annoying. Let's go ahead and peel up that clear layer. Okay, I'm going to use a needle where the screw is, and then we can peel it up like that. I might end up having to put a new thing of adhesive there, but anyways, let's go ahead and see if we can kind of drop this all into place and then peel this all up at once. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we'll set that aside. All right, now let's go ahead and remove the 4 screws here. Okay, you want to keep all these screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like this. In the pattern I remove them, so you can see 4 across, and then I'll just put these 3 all in one row. All right, if this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Now these are customer computers, so keep that in mind. Most of the time, by the time you see this video, I'm not going to have the computer. I usually repair all of these things within a day. So yeah, alright, anyways, there's this USB here. We're going to unplug that. Okay, and then to pop the bottom cover off, what I like to do is we'll carefully open this a little, and then as you can see, there's a little gap here between the palm rest and this bottom cover. So what I do is I get my fingernails in that gap and I'll push with my thumb on the back. Okay, so just like this, and you can see it pops out just like that. So we're just going to go all the way around. You can use plastic pry tools if you want. A lot of people will tell me that they don't have fingernails to do that, so that's fine. Just go ahead and use your pry tools to do that. But as you can see, fingernails make this job really easy. Okay, just like that. Go ahead and pop that up all around, and then usually the back end, if we can, we're going to kind of just wiggle this around, and might have to kind of push and slide it around forward or backwards. It's a little bit stuck here, so let's go ahead and see. Let's try and get this corner out. There we go. All right, and now that we got that corner out, this side came out. Let's try and get this corner as well. Kind of have to wiggle it a little bit. All right, and there we go. So I'm not sure what's causing this computer to not start up. It's just showing a black screen and nothing is coming up. There were a few times I was able to get it to start by putting some pressure on the bottom of the computer while turning it on. So we're going to see. Okay, this thing's pretty dusty. So I'm going to clean this up actually, and then I'll be back. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so I'm back. You can see we cleaned it up quite a bit. There's not any more dust in there. I mean, it still has like these speckled things that are stained on there, but it's not dusty anymore. Okay, so first thing we're going to check is the RAM. A lot of times the RAM is what goes bad when it's having issues booting. But let's go ahead and remove the battery because we are going to check all the other connections first. Usually when you're doing anything with the RAM or SSD, you don't have to worry about removing the battery, but we're just going to remove it since we're going to be double checking all the connections. Again, keep all the screws in order. You don't want to get them all mixed up. Okay, so there's 2 screws right here holding the battery. Actually, let me zoom in here. Okay, and then we got 2 screws at the bottom. This one I think is underneath, so we'll leave that. If we have to remove it, then we'll remove it. All right, now that we got the screws out, we're going to lift the battery up like this, and you can see it swings out. Okay, there's some dust under there, so let me clean that off as well. All right. Excuse me. So the battery model number here, you can see the HP spare part number here, L11119-855. All right, and then this is the HP model number for the battery, HT03XL. So if you search HT03XL, you can actually find this battery. All right, here you can see the trackpad button connector, the trackpad or touchpad connector itself, keyboard connector here. Let's actually flip these latches up, make sure these connectors are in, and then just close them back down. I'm going to just make sure everything is nice and solid. Okay, this connector is under here, so it's a little more difficult, but same thing. Flip it up, make sure it's in. All right. Okay. What else do we got here? There's a random connector here that's not connected to anything. I don't see, keyboard backlight. So some models will have a backlit keyboard. That's what this connector slot is for. You got the wireless card here. You got the hard drive, 2.5-inch SATA hard drive connector, which if you had one, it would be down here. All right, but this doesn't come with one. You got this connector here for the SD card slot. Again, I'm going to just double check all these connections, make sure everything's nice and tight. FPR2, so I'm going to guess this is for a fingerprint reader. Okay, some models will come with a fingerprint reader, SD card slot here. All right, we got this larger cable over here. Let me actually move stuff around so I can show this. Okay, let's flip this cable, make sure everything's nice and tight. Okay, this cable is for the 2 USB ports over here. I don't know if there's anything else. Yep, just for those. Okay, you got the fan here. I'm not going to remove it, but the fan connector is this one here. You got this connector here, which is most likely for the DC jack or charge port connector, which goes all the way up here. So to remove that, you will have to take the hinge out, take this fan out, and then I think you can actually unroute the cable. It goes underneath along this speaker, and then it plugs in over here. Okay, so we got that. You got the M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. One screw is holding it in place. Once you remove the screw, it pops up. You can kind of wiggle and pull it back. This is 512 gigs NAND flash memory, and then 32 gigs of excuse me, Intel Optane. So we're going to put this back in at an angle like that. Then we're going to put it down, and we'll go ahead and tighten this into place. All right. What else do we got? We got 2 sticks of RAM here. So I don't know if the RAM is causing the problem, but I'm going to take it out. And usually what I like to do, I just wipe the pins off like this. If you're doing this, make sure that you are grounded, that you don't have static built up. There's like a little speck dot here. Oh, I kind of just scraped it off, and it seems like it mostly came out. Oops, sorry. So there's a little dark dot there. It was worse, but I kind of scraped it, and now it's gone. So could possibly be some corrosion was causing the issue. We'll find out. Okay, I'm going to do the same with the other stick of RAM. This one is stuck with this adhesive here. So I'm going to actually use let's see here. I'm going to use this plastic tool and see if I can peel up this adhesive. Okay, it's somewhat of a pain. Just get underneath there and let's peel that up. Okay. There we go. And then same thing, I'm going to wipe the connectors off. Okay, if you're worried about it, some people are worried saying that it's going to mess it up, but I've never had RAM get messed up from that. Okay, anyways, we'll click that down and then we can close that. You can use a contact cleaner or whatever, electric contacts cleaner, but I'm more worried that it will damage these components if you get liquid and stuff in there. All right, anyways, we're going to flip this latch up. This is the DC jack or sorry, not this is the LCD LVDS connector here. If you mess with this, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I usually do on all my videos. After removing the battery, you open up the computer, press and hold the power button for 15 seconds, and then you can go ahead and mess with this cable. And again, you only want to do that after you disconnect the battery first and then hold the power button. All right, speaker connectors right here. This kind of connector, you kind of just wiggle this and eventually it will pop out, but I'm going to leave that in place. And I think that's pretty much it. It was somewhat dusty. I cleaned that out. So let's go ahead now and put back the battery and see if we got any life coming out of this thing. So we're gonna just line up these screw mounts again. Okay, line it up, push the middle part down so that the battery connects properly. And then we'll go ahead and get the 2 screws at the top here in. Okay. And then we'll get the 2 screws at the bottom in. Okay. And if you're wondering, you can use any M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. I think I might have forgot to mention what type of RAM this is, so let me double check here. They're using 2 different types of RAM, or 2 different brands, I mean. But this is a 4 gig PC4 3200 AA. Let's see if this one is the same or different. Okay. This one is 8 gig PC4. Okay, they put this sticker on top, which is kind of annoying. So let's go ahead and peel this off. But this is PC4 2666V. So you can use any PC4 2666V RAM. All right. If you want, you can put another 8 gigs to have 16 gigs total. Or you can even put 2 16 gigs if you want to have 32 gigs. And this is 3200 AA. So if you can find 3200 AA RAM, it looks like that would work as well. Okay, so we'll put that in place. There's some little crumbs here, so I'm going to just blow that stuff away. Okay, and let's go ahead and see if it will power up. I didn't see a CMOS or BIOS battery in here, so it's most likely using the main battery as the BIOS or CMOS battery. Okay, in some cases they hide them under the motherboard, but a lot of HP laptops I'll see that they use the main battery as the BIOS battery. Anyways, let's go ahead and put this cover on so it's a little more sturdy when we go to take it to open it up and power it on. Okay, just get everything lined up, click everything into place, and the main one is at least these back 4 screws. Okay, so let's get these screws all in there. All right. Not much more to this. Again, because the battery acts as the BIOS or CMOS battery, when you go to power it on, usually it will power cycle multiple times before it can boot up properly. Oh man, my throat. I think I'm talking too much. Alright, so let's go ahead and peel this adhesive off and stick it back into place here. Alright, there's a hole there. Or I guess technically you can just line it up on the rubber piece as well if you wanted to do it that way. So you can stick it on there. It might be a little trickier because it's not an actual slot that it has to follow or groove. Okay, so it somewhat works. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to stick this side in first. Make sure that little dimple goes in. Okay, then what you can do is you can peel this separately. And you can get this into place by pulling it over, all right, and dropping it down and sticking that in there. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and get this side. Because it's stretched now, you want to get this side in first. Okay, now that you got both sides in, you can work your way towards the center and then just push it in like that and spread the lump out to the edges. All right, oops, as you can see, it kind of slides around. This adhesive is not too good. It's not very reusable. All right, let's go ahead now and get the last 3 screws in. If this video helped you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Other than that, we're just going to get these screws back in and see if it powers up and if we're able to see anything on the screen. Okay. So again, for some reason I was able to get it to show stuff on the screen when I put pressure like on the bottom here while powering it on, but we'll see what happens if we don't do that. Hopefully the fix that we did helped with that. All right, let's go ahead and get this back in. All right, and then we'll get this side Same idea because it stretches a little. We're going to put that side first and then work our way towards the center. Okay. Just like that. Alright, everything is good. Let's flip this over and let's see if it's going to power up. So there's no light on here, so we're going to have to look at the lights on this side here. Let's go ahead and push the power button. I do see the power light is on. Okay, we're going to put this USB, was it in here? Where was this USB? It's on the other side. Okay, so we'll put it back over here. Alright, now we're just going to wait and see if anything happens. So, again, as I was saying, here you go. The BIOS reset itself. Alright, the screen isn't actually flickering like that. The camera is just making it look like it is. So it says CMOS checksum is invalid. CMOS will reset to the default. Alright, and then press enter to restart the computer. So I'll press enter. And we'll see if it boots up normally or if it's going to have issues. And I think it's booting. And there we go. Again, it's not really flickering. I don't know why it's making it look like it is, but it's not. Alright, but that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Alright, let's drop this. Bye.